ladies and gentlemen. I am WA6LBU, chairman of the board, and this is the 3905 Century Club Board of Directors meeting. We will start the meeting off with a roll call. This is an odd month, so we will do it backwards. Starting with DX.
VE3CMB and VA3YKT, we're here.
Okay, thank you. 10th area.
AA0HF is present.
Okay, 9th area.
W9ROG present.
Okay, 8th area.
Whiskey 8 November Echo Tango present.
7th area.
WB7ASC present.
6th area.
6th area, Whiskey Yankee 6 November present.
Okay, 5th area is here, WA6LBU. 4th area.
Here, K9 GWS, and we also have Dwight WF4H.
Okay, thank you. 3rd area.
Oh, I'm sorry, KE3HAY with the dog here.
K9 DOG.
Yeah.
2nd area.
AC2MT present.
Okay, 1st area.
A1NZ present.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, excuse me. I'd also like to add the WHJCS 8th area assistant. He's present.
Oh, okay. And vice president.
AA1 and A here.
Okay, and president.
KL7OR here.
Okay, everybody is here. We will move down to the October minutes. Do I have a motion to approve?
Doug, I'm sorry, Clay. Doug, also Dan, Whiskey 8, Charlie, Juliet Charlie Sierra is present also.
Yeah, got him.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes. K9 GWS.
Okay, thank you, Gary. Do I have a second?
AC2MT.
Okay, thank you, Rich. Any discussion on the minutes? Okay, moving on to a vote. DX.
DX area approves VE3CMB.
10th area.
Approved AA0HF.
9th area.
9th area approved W9ROG.
8th area.
Whiskey 8 November Tango approved.
Okay, 7th area.
Approved. WB7ASC.
6th area.
Approved WY6N.
5th area approves. 4th area.
Approved K9 GWS.
3rd area.
KE3HAY approves.
Okay, 2nd area.
AC2MT approves.
And 1st area.
A1NZ approved.
Vice president.
AA1 and A approved.
Okay, and president.
KL7OR approves.
Okay, thank you. October financials, motion to approve those.
Whiskey 8 November Tango.
Okay, second.
V3CMB.
Okay, any discussion on the financials? Okay, hearing none. Vote to approve. DX.
DX area V3CMB approve.
10th area.
10th area approves AA0HF.
9th area.
9th area approved W9ROG.
8th area.
8th area approved. Whiskey 8 November Echo Tango.
Okay, 6th area. I'm sorry, 7th area.
WB7ASC approved.
Okay, and 6th area.
6th area approves WY6N.
Oh, I got the hiccups. I apologize. 5th area approves, and 4th area.
Oh, approved K9 GWS.
Okay, 3rd area.
KE3HAY approves.
Okay, 2nd area.
2nd area approves. AC2MT.
Okay, 1st area.
C approved.
Okay, vice president.
AA1 and A approved.
Okay, president.
KL7OR abstain.
Okay. Okay, we're down to all the reports from the committees. Is there any discussion on any of those? Okay, hearing none.
So hey, just real quick, Clay. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to, just mention the membership and communication team has been working on trying to get our hands around sort of our social media, internet, what the club does. So we've been working pretty hard. We've got a new business Facebook page up that is going to be the primary page, which will have, things about the club, information, those kinds of things. We'll still have this sort of chat page where people can chat. They'll be able to get through that from the main Facebook page. We're also going to add Instagram as a tool that people can use to share photographs and things like that. And we're also working on YouTube videos. It'll take us a little bit of time, not a lot, but a little bit of time to start putting some of that content together. And that'll just be an ongoing process. And the main Facebook, the business Facebook page, YouTube and Instagram will be linked from the home page so that people will be able to get to those things. We're hoping that this increases sort of awareness of the club and gets us some more action on the net, and especially with existing members, because we get a fair number of new check-ins, but existing members checking in has been down. So just wanted to sort of mention that as to what our strategy is and what we've been working on. So.
Okay. And I apologize. I had an update going on my tablet that it appears that it's about to try and join the meeting. So if there's a little bit of feedback, it won't let me. Dean, if you would, my second window that just popped up, or second request, just cancel that or leave it. That way I don't have to monkey with it. I'll just close it from this end.
Can't do that.
Okay. Okay, I apologize. It decided to start an update at about 25 or 35 after 7, and it just now finished. Okay, are there any other comments or questions about the report, the committee reports? Okay, hearing none. Old business, motion 2024-10-1, amending the bylaws. Main section is membership. We had tabled this last meeting. Do I have a motion to pull that off of the table?
A motion to take from the table.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second, K9 GWS.
Who moved it?
Okay.
Eric.
Okay,
Eric made the motion, Gary seconded.
thank you.
Okay, with that, we have to vote. So DX, we're voting to pull it off the table. DX, Craig?
You're on mute, Craig.
Yeah, I've got some background interference here in the house tonight. DX approves to pull it off the table.
Okay, thank you. 10th area?
Approved AA0H.
Okay, 9th area?
9th area approves W9ROG.
Okay, 7th area?
7th approves.
Okay, I apologize. I skipped the 8th. 8th area?
8th area approve, Whiskey 8 November Echo Tango.
Okay, 6th area?
6th area approves WY6N.
Okay, 5th area approves. 4th?
Approved, K9 GWS.
3rd area?
KE3HAY approves.
Okay, thank you. 2nd area?
AC2MT approves.
Okay, and 1st area? First area, Tom?
Yes, AA1NZ approved.
Okay. Vice President?
AA1 and A approved.
Okay, and President?
KL70R approved.
Okay, it's up off of the table. Eric, I'm going to lead off with you, and you could make some comments about what has transpired in the last month.
Thank you very much. Yeah, lots of good discussion on the board reflector. I think where we came down and talking to lots of board members, the remaining issue where the board would like to spend more time is the use of contacts and certificates when membership is revoked. So what I recommend is we pass the motion as is, and then the bylaws committee will take that ask from the board and set up a board discussion. The reason we want to do that is we have several conflicting requests and changes that folks have asked to make. So it deserves some kind of focused discussion, and whatever the board wants to do during that, we'll come back with a motion to modify the bylaws from that. So that's my ask, and I'm pretty sure that's where folks are at now with this motion.
Okay, are there any questions for Eric? Is there any further discussion? Okay, with that, we'll go ahead and vote to approve. Once again, starting with DX.
DX area approves as written.
Okay,
B3 CMB.
thank you. Eric?
Approved AA0HF.
Okay, ninth area.
Ninth area approved, W9ROG.
Okay, eighth area.
8th area approved, Whiskey 8 November Echo Tango.
Okay, seventh area.
Seventh area approves.
Okay, thank you. Sixth area.
Sixth area approves, WY6N.
Okay, fifth area. Approves, sorry. Fourth area.
Approved K9 GWS.
Okay, third area.
Approved KE3HOY.
Okay, second area.
Second area approves, AC2MT.
Okay, first area.
Area approved, AA1NZ.
Okay, vice president
Approved AA1 and A.
and president.
KL70R approved.
Okay, thank you all. That was unanimous. Now on to new business. At this time, I would like to nominate AA1NA to the position of vice president for the upcoming elections.
Thank you, Clay.
You're welcome. And I'm sure the secretary has duly noted that.
4 hours ago.
Okay. No problem.
So I have a nomination. Whiskey 3 Bravo Sierra, Buddy Spiegel.
Okay. Mr. Secretary, have you noted that?
Working on it for Whiskey 3 Bravo Sierra. Got it.
Okay. Are there any other nominations? Okay, hearing none. We'll let Doug get caught up for a second. Moving on to motion 2024-11-1, amend bylaws, responsibility for IRS Form 990 filing. I think this is the second time we've visited this, and then this just simplifies whose responsibility it is.
Mr. Chairman, may I make a comment?
You can.
I originally initiated that. This is Doug M3VEJ. I originally initiated this thinking that because this goes to the IRS, it's a financial document. I have since learned, after having completed the filing as required by our existing bylaws, that it basically only needed information that came from the Florida filing. And it has to be done at about the same time as the Florida filing. So I no longer see a need to transfer this responsibility to the treasurer. I'm willing to let it go that way if the board agrees. But the treasurer would then take the work from the Florida state filing to actually complete the 990. And it took about 5 minutes to do it. So that's the information based on experience.
Okay. Eric, at this point, do you want to withdraw this motion?
I'd like to hear what Gary thinks.
I don't care. I don't care one way or the other.
All right.
To tell you, I've been doing it ever since I was treasurer. But if
you have?
do it, I'm fine.
I didn't know you did it.
Yes. No, I mentioned that last week, and I mentioned I'd already filed it back in March. So we filed it. If you filed it again, we filed it twice.
Oh, okay. So let's go forward with it then.
Okay. With that, Eric, are you good with that?
Yeah. Let's proceed.
Okay. Okay. With all of the discussion finished, let's vote on this once again, starting with DX, B3CMB.
DX approves B3CMB.
Hey, Clay, can you
Okay.
say what we were voting on? There were two different things going on. I think I understand, but I'm not sure.
Okay. We're amending the bylaws as to who is responsible for the IRS Form 990 filing. That's our nonprofit paperwork for apparently both the state and, well, I guess the 990 is just federal income tax. We're going to put that on the treasurer
Okay.
within the bylaws, because currently it says the secretary.
Well, thank you.
Okay. And let's see. DX, we got 10th area.
A0HF approves.
Okay. 9th area.
9th area approved, W9ROG.
Okay. 8th area.
8th area approved, Whiskey November Echo Tango.
Okay. 7th area.
7th area approves.
Okay. 6th area.
6th area approves, WY6N.
Okay. 5th area approves, WA6LBU. 4th area.
Approved K9 GWS.
Okay. 3rd area.
KE3HAY approves.
Okay. 2nd area.
2nd area approves, AC2MT.
1st area.
1st area approved, AA1NZ.
Vice President.
Approved, AA1NA.
Okay. And President.
PL70R approved.
Okay. That motion passes. I'm sorry. Okay, motion, second motion 2024-11-2, declare the 9th area director position vacant. Sponsor is me, reluctantly. The bylaws state that attendance at board meetings, when 3 of 5 consecutive meetings are missed, the chair is directed to present a motion to declare the position vacant. Nobody represented the 9th area in 3 consecutive monthly meetings, June, July, and August 24. Due to that lack of representation at 3 board meetings, I moved the position be declared vacant. Do I have a second?
I'll second K9 GWS.
Okay. I imagine there's going to be some discussion.
I
Let's-
suggest, number one, ask Roger what his thoughts are at first.
Okay, Roger, I will give you the floor.
Thank you very much, everyone. It's good to see you again. I have been on the road basically all summer, so I have not been here for the meetings, obviously. Jim, my alternate, he has a cabin up north that he, I guess, has been there all summer, that he does not have internet access. I really would like to continue as the 9th Area Director. I think I have a lot to offer, and I have, I believe I've done a good job in the past. I have no more Comic-Cons until end of April, so there's nothing stopping me from attending. And if I am given another chance, I am planning on replacing Jim with someone who can be an alternate. Thank you.
Okay. Further discussion?
I make a motion to table this until next month.
Comment?
Go ahead, Craig.
We've already tabled it, Gene, I think, and although we probably didn't have as much interaction on the board reflector as we could have, I don't think tabling it is really. I'm not sure what else is going to bring. I'm the fact that Roger, is committed. He wants to stay around. He has been doing a good job when he's been there, and that he's going to look for a different alternate area director. I think that covers the basis.
I'd like to comment too, Clay.
Comment as
Okay.
well.
I heard before Keon there was a voice and I didn't recognize it.
That's Tom.
Okay, Tom, go ahead.
Yes. I've thought a lot about this, and I've talked to several other directors and some other people in the club. And the big decision, well, it's a tough decision. By the bylaws, we're supposed to act. We have rules. But I'm hesitant to do that until I heard Roger's side of the story as well. And he has convinced me that he wants to stay. And I'm in favor of giving him a shot at it. Even though it's against the rules and I have responsibilities to the first area to uphold the bylaws, I think I would like to consider this a little further before I vote on it, either direction. And just hearing Roger say he wants to do it goes a long way with me. That was my comment.
Okay, thank you, Tom. Keon.
Yeah, two things actually. First thing is actually a question for Roger, and this is just to kind of complete the circle. Roger, are you planning on running again for the 9th area in this upcoming election?
I did not want to put my name out there earlier because of I don't know what my fate is. Yeah.
Okay. And the second part to my comment is, I've shared this with others and I'll share this here as well. I understand what the bylaws say. However, the general concern of the 3rd area is the sovereignty that the directors have. Now, I understand what it says, but at what point was this thought about when it came to, I guess we can call it grace and mercy? People have circumstances, people have issues. What is the plan in the event that someone takes ill? Do we have some type of contingency for that other than this black and white scenario? Which is...
on, let Keon finish and we'll get to the next comment. Go ahead,
Thank you.
Keon.
Yeah, so the way that the bylaws are written, I don't see the fact that it is put up to a vote says that there is some humanity and some sovereignty that we have as directors to A, hear what the director said, and B, then act upon that. That is the general consensus of the third area. And to what Tom said, I get exactly where he's coming from. Yes, we've heard from Roger now. We have a greater understanding of what is going on. And I do believe the bylaws do give us some latitude to hear that and take that into consideration. As it was previously put, that was not the case. Indeed, I do believe, and the third area as a whole believes that there is. So I appreciate you, Clay. Thank you so much for giving me that opportunity to just kind of put that piece of information out there. And Tom, again, thank you for what you said, and Gene as well.
So
Okay.
let me.
Who?
I'm sorry.
Gary, was it you who had the next
Well, I don't know if
comment?
it was me or
It was
not, but
me.
I do want to say something.
Okay.
It was me.
Okay.
Okay.
Guys, I need call signs or at least suffix, please. I'm charged with capturing the gist of the conversation. I'm typing like mad.
HAY over here, Doug. I'm so sorry.
I know you, Keon. I know that
Okay.
voice. Oh my
Okay.
God, that voice can never escape me.
Okay. Who was the attempted comment in the middle of Keon's?
Whiskey 8 November Echo Tango.
Okay, thanks, Gene. Gary, you're recognized. How I'm going to give Gene his say first.
All right.
In order. Go ahead, Gene.
Thank you. Keon, I don't know the exact law in Florida, in Ohio, and Delaware. They don't have a humanity clause for a board member until they have a bylaw remedy for that, and we don't have that, and that is the issue. Dean did do his part for the bylaws, making the motion to Clay, and Clay did his part in making the motion to this issue. But we have zero legal remedy except yay or nay voting or tabling the motion. And that's the issue. And I think maybe Eric could think about a soft landing place, like the issue we had for remedies for detrimental conduct on the nets and so on a few months ago. We need to find a better place to fit this kind of issue than only slapping a hand or death penalty. Something in the middle makes more sense. And I talked to a couple of people about this issue, and it sucks. I like Roger. However, the real the bylaws say it's a up and down vote or tabling the motion to the next meeting, and nothing else. I'm done, Clay. Thank you.
Okay, hang on a second. I just had somebody pop in with a message. Eric, this is kind of something for you. The bylaws say that the motion must be presented, and the bylaws have no further demand other, and this is being asked by somebody else, no demand in the bylaws that says must be removed. It allows directors to decide. Bylaw wise, is if this is voted down, there's no additional, I guess, no additional factors in the bylaws that we need to move on. Correct? Is that accurate?
Correct. It's at the discretion of the the full 11 area directors at this point. So
Okay.
you are correct. If it's voted down, it's done.
Comment.
Okay, let me get with Gary's comment. And I think it was that HAY that just popped in there?
AA1 and A.
Oh, okay. Let me get with Gary and then I'll go with you, Kirk.
Thank you.
Gary?
So my concern is that we just voted on this in March, and nobody seemed to think that we should have added something in here about, there may be mitigating circumstances. And this has been in our bylaws for as long as I can remember. The resolution of it is different. That was changed in March, but it's been in our bylaws, like I said, as far as I can remember. And the problem I have is that if we decide not to abide by the bylaws, that really says we don't really need our bylaws, because we're going to decide what we want to decide anyhow. And that's my concern. And it does it's really unfortunate we don't have something here that says, there can be mitigating circumstances. The other concern I have, I don't think the bar is that high. I mean, you got to attend 3 out of 5 meetings. And if you can't, you've got 2 ways to take care of it. You can have your area director stand in for you, which I've had Dwight do several times for me over the last few years, or you can, give somebody your proxy. And if Jim wasn't available, then we should have found somebody else that could do it. And so that's my real concern here and I think it's important for board members to be at board meetings, right? And so anyhow, that's my view and that's my concern. And it's like, where do we draw the line on whether we follow what we've written down or not? So.
Okay. Thank you. Kirk?
Thank you. And to Gary's point, I agree. We do have to have bylaws that keep us between the ditches. But yes, it's a living document. If we find that it's not appropriate or not effective or needs adjusting, we have that ability. And we should use that. Maybe we're not able to use it right now, but as to a point that was made earlier, we're affording people who are detrimental to the club a notice. And in this instance, I think a notice would be a good place to amend the bylaws so that a phone call, an email, a letter is sent to someone that we have a concern with before it gets in the record or the minute. And I think that's considerate. Raj is a friend, but I think in spite or even without that in play, that's something that each one of us should enjoy and should be afforded. So I hope that our discussion will continue with asking the bylaws committee to amend that so that a notice is given before it's put on the minutes where an area needs to be considered abandoned. And okay, thank you. The other issue, and Eric brought this up, that this is a decision by 11 of the 11 directors. I feel he's in error. It is written in the bylaws that this decision will be made by the 11 directors. However, there's a statement in the Articles of Incorporation where if there are clauses that are in conflict between the Articles of Incorporation, our Constitution, and the bylaws, that in that order of precedence, the prevailing or the prevailing mechanism will be in that order: Articles of Incorporation, Constitution, bylaws. So to that fact, not only would the 11 directors vote on it, but the president and vice president should be included in that vote. And I appreciate being considered. Thank you.
Okay.
Comment.
Go ahead, comment.
Whiskey 8 November Echo Tango. I agree, Kirk. And I was thinking about any other remedy. That's why I suggested a pause for a motion to table the motion until the next meeting, and maybe we would have more time to remedy this situation. And of course, if someone has more thoughts about it after a couple weeks, they could say yes or no for the next meeting, and think about the issue in more detail. I'm done, Clay. Whiskey 8 November Echo Tango.
Okay. Thank you, Gene. I will say that I had a conversation with Eric last night, and I made a suggestion to take to the bylaws committee where there's a 1 and 2 step letter and or email or something to that nature before we get to the point where we have to draw a line in the sand and vote on that. I don't think with the way things are structured, if we table this and there is a motion to modify the bylaws next month, that's going to help the situation, because that typically is, if that passes, goes to the next month, and we would have to table it again, and as a whole, it would make the board look somewhat useless if we just keep kicking things down the road. There's 13 people here, and I'm pretty sure 13 people don't want to be here right now.
Comment.
I understand, but okay, Craig.
Yeah, so a couple of things, and I'll certainly try and be quick. We all, I think, agree that particular section of the bylaw does need a soft landing or something in between, or a stepping stone in between. So I think that's what we're sort of agreeing here. It goes from nothing to wow. It's at the board of directors for a vote. So. Yes, I think that should go back to the bylaws committee to review. Yep, we approved it in March, but we approved it, a motion this evening where we are going to ask the bylaws committee to take that one section and propose different alternate things on it with respect to somebody who gets basically thrown out of the club, and whether or not we can use the cards and or the certificate number. So although the motion we approved was just this evening, we've asked the bylaw committee to expand on this one section. So I would suggest that the motion we approved back on March, okay, that we ask the bylaws committee to re-review that and come up with sort of an interim in between. Okay. Second thing is, there's nothing that would have been illegal or precluded if somebody, myself included, had called up Roger and said, "Hey, buddy, listen, you've missed 2 meetings. Careful, if you miss 3, right?" So it's not written in the bylaws to do that, but that wouldn't have violated our bylaws. If we had reached out as co-directors and said, "Hey, are you okay?" That part of it. And then the final thing, just to end, we are following the bylaws right now. The president brought this, the chair of the board, who brought this to the meeting. We have followed the bylaws. There's nothing in there. There's an implication, I'm sure, but there's nothing that says the directors have to vote this down. Okay, so the bylaws are being followed. They should be changed. They are being followed. And I think we can vote this motion down, move ahead, and change that section of the bylaw.
Craig, may I ask what your second point was? I didn't get it.
Oh, sorry about that. The second point was, it does say in the bylaws, it goes from 0 to bringing it to the board. There's nothing, though, that would have been illegal or inappropriate if one of the other area directors or somebody on the board had just sort of called Roger or sent him an email and saying, "Hey, don't forget," or "Are you okay?" or "You're missing a lot of meetings. Don't forget," right? So until we change, which we're asking the committee to do now, the bylaws committee, to have another look at that motion and put a stepping stone in between, so we don't go from nothing to 100% to the board. And then the third point there was, I think we vote on this. If we vote it down, we have still done what the bylaws mandate us to do.
Thank you.
AJ,
Got it.
Okay, Keon.
Yeah, I think Craig hit the nail on the head on this one, and I appreciate that explanation. It puts things in perspective. With that being said, I just want to ask Gary, just really quick, is there an interpretation somewhere that you feel that this has to be voted yes? Because based on the comment given, it kind of sort of leans toward that because it's in the bylaws and because, as is said, it would be against our civic duty to say no. Do you have something to support that being different?
Here's what I think. I think the reason there's even a vote is it's simply to talk about the facts. And the facts are how many meetings you've been in. All right. There's nothing in the bylaws that indicates there's a provision for mitigating circumstances or anything else. And so it's pretty simple and straightforward. Now, if there was a debate about the facts, meaning, oh, maybe he didn't miss so many meetings, then I think that would be, that would be appropriate discussion. But there's no provision here that says, there are mitigating circumstances. And anyhow, that's the way I read it. And I think, why do we have this provision then? I'm trying, it's like, why don't we just take it out of the bylaws? And that will solve things. And
okay.
We had a provision before where we sent letters and, but there was nothing else you could do. The president had to continually send letters and there was nothing else you could do. So,
okay.
And I'm not opposed to having a 2-step process, but that's not what we have today.
Okay. And let me just be clear that, and I get what you're saying. That's not answering the question that I have. So let me rephrase it. Does it say that there is an absolute removal in the bylaws if this happens? Is it concretely saying you have to be removed if this is the case? That's my question.
It doesn't say.
Okay.
I think Roger had his hand up there too.
Okay, Rod. There's a couple of things. Wayne popped in. Wayne, did you have a comment?
Yeah, what Keon was just saying, and Craig, it's from what I understand, the bylaw says we have to have a vote, but it doesn't say what the outcome of the vote should be. That's why I was wondering about that. Also, let's say that the vote is to vacate. I see nothing that says that Roger can't, by the end of this month, announce his candidacy again and get voted back in come election time and resume where he left off on March the 1st of next year.
That's correct.
May I address the point of the bylaws, Mr. Chairman?
Go ahead, Doug.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
My read of the bylaws indicates that since there's only 6 months or less left of the term, the president may immediately recommend someone to fill in the rest of the unexpired term, and there's nothing that precludes him from recommending Roger to fulfill that.
Okay.
If the president wants to do that.
Okay. I heard somebody else besides Doug, and I think it's Dean. Dean?
It's Dean.
Okay.
Dean, comment?
Let me start off by saying this is a very tough situation that we're in right now. I think we all agree. If we don't, we don't. I think the issue that we have tonight, well, let me back up. Let me talk about Roger for a minute. He has been very active in the club in the past. He's made significant contributions. Up until whatever changed things, he'd done a good job, right? But we're at a point right now where we have a motion before the board. It doesn't talk about the sincerity that Roger has. It doesn't talk about anything other than he has missed 3 out of 5 meetings. That's the issue on the table. Nothing else. And it's a real crappy situation to be in. I'm sorry. I mean, it's really, and I know that it's tough on you directors. I mean, I've talked to a lot of you on the phone this week, and you guys are really, you're really rattling. And tonight it is your choice, and the club abides by it to vote accordingly to either vacate the position or not. That's what we're talking about. And people have said it before. If you decide to vacate it, all Roger's got to do is turn around and put his name back in again, and he can get reelected in March. It's up to me. I don't get to make that decision. It's what Roger wants to do going forward. And like I said, Roger's been a friend for a lot of us, and I've known Roger, 10, 12 years, and he's not a bad person. It's just that he let it, and Roger, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but he let a personal side of his life kind of get us to where we're at today. Anyway, it's a bad situation, but I hope you guys tonight can wrestle with it. But like I said, what you're voting on, and if you want to disagree, then you can, but what you're voting on is the bylaws state that if a board member misses 3 out of 5, I have a responsibility to notify the chairman of the board to vacate the position. And it's not personal for me. I'm doing my duty, and Clay's doing his duty, and now it's time for you guys to do the duty. I asked the question, what facts are we going to have if we table this motion? What new facts do we get over the next 30 days if we table the motion? We've already talked about the bylaws, and I guess, Eric, quote me wrong, everybody's talked to you this week, right? You've been busy on the phone, right?
I have, and good discussions, lots of ideas for change, but it doesn't matter tonight. Right. I have been capturing everybody's ideas. Some are actually tougher than what
when I talked, and I'll tell you my discussion with Eric is I told Eric, we got to fix this, put it on the parking lot or the back burner. I think that we need to move it forward, and I will direct the committee to act on this as soon as they can so that we can get a remedy back to the board so we can fix it so that we're not here before. I don't have the solution right now, but I think we've got a lot of qualified people that can help get that rewritten and get it rewritten to where it's, I think Craig said it, a lot more proactive with moving forward with things like this, right? Anyway, yeah, that's my comment about the tabling. Is it you know, are we going to know anything more at the December board meeting than we know today? You know, last month we tabled a motion because we did have some conflict and we did get it resolved and we had new facts and we revoted on it and it passed. So anyway, I'm done, Clay.
Okay. Any more discussion?
Roger's had his hand up, Clay. I know you've been busy there, but Roger's had his hand up a lot.
I apologize, Roger. Go ahead.
No, actually, I'd like to apologize to everyone for wasting all your time on this matter tonight. I'm sorry. I did try to get a proxy twice, but I didn't do it in time, which is my fault. I understand, you know, I won't own up to it. I agree with most everyone that this should not be carried over to next month because number one, I couldn't take it. I'm not in good shape right now. So I want this settled tonight, please. For the option of if I do get removed, there's no way I'm going to try and nominate myself for next term if the majority here don't want me here. So, I mean, you know, whatever happens, happens. I understand it was my fault. And I think everything happens for a reason. If you guys want me to stay, then great. If you don't want me to stay, there's a reason for that. I don't know what it is, but there's a reason. So you do your due diligence and whatever you guys, you know, decide, I'm fine with. I'm done.
Okay. Thank you, Roger.
Thank you.
Okay. Without further comments, now comes the hard part, the vote.
We have the eighth area director made a motion to table this until next month, and I think we need to vote on that first before we vote.
I apologize. I forgot about that. Okay. Motion to table this.
Was there a second to the motion?
No.
Okay. Do I have a second on that motion?
HAY seconds it.
Okay. Tabling this, we're now voting to table this motion. Starting with DX.
DX area nay to tabling B3 CMB.
Okay, 10th area.
10th area votes no.
Okay, 9th area.
9th area votes no, W9ROG.
Okay, 8th area.
8th area says table the motion, yay. Whiskey to November Tango.
Okay, 7th area.
7th area votes no, WB7ASC.
Okay, 6th area.
6th area votes nay, WY6N.
5th area says no, WA6LVU. 4th area.
K9 GWS, no.
Okay, 3rd area.
No, HAY.
Okay, 2nd area.
2nd area votes no, AC2MT.
Okay, 1st area.
1st area, abstain, AA1NZ.
Okay, and since this is a procedural, Vice President?
AA1 votes no.
And President?
President is not voting.
Okay. We have 1 abstain and 11. I apologize. 10 no's and 1 yes, with the president not voting. So the motion is not tabled. That brings us to a vote, which will be the directors only.
Query.
Go ahead, Query.
The directors, do you mean the board of directors as a whole?
Or, well, I know what you said, but I have no way of, I'll be honest, I don't know what to do with your request because I have not seen that in the articles of incorporation. Because I haven't looked. I looked at the bylaws. So I will admit I'm at a loss on that.
From the website.
So, folks, maybe Eric has a better answer, but I'll give you mine. It's like, go ahead, Eric. Eric, go ahead. It makes more sense for you to answer.
This comes down to, doesn't matter, Kirk, what the Articles of Incorporation or Constitution say. The Florida statute restricts this particular vote to directors in this matter. And there are 11 directors. We then have a president and a vice president who are not directors. They do have a vote on the board of directors, still not directors. And that's what's driving this particular way the bylaw is written.
Wow. I feel that's an error, but it's just me and Dean.
Okay. Starting with the vote, DX.
DX area, no to removal, VE3 CMB.
Okay. 10th area.
5th area says yes, AA0H.
Okay, Roger.
9th area votes no.
Okay. 8th area.
8th area abstains. Whiskey 8 November Echo Tango.
Okay, 7th area.
7th area votes yes, WB7ASC.
Okay, 6th area.
6th area abstains, WY6N.
Okay. 5th area abstains. 4th area.
Yes, K9 GWS.
Okay, 3rd area.
3rd area says no, KE3HAY.
2nd area.
2nd area says no, AC2MT.
And 1st area.
1st area, no, AA1NZ.
Okay. I have 2 abstains, 1 yes, if I recall. I'm sorry, 2 yeses, and the rest are.
I see 3 yeses.
I think you got 3 yeses.
Yeah. Okay.
And I see 5 no's, and the rest are abstains.
Okay, and we needed 6 to pass it.
No, we need a majority.
What's that? 6 is a majority. 11.
Not a majority of the vote, but a majority of the board. Okay.
Majority of the
directors. It didn't pass.
Yeah,
it didn't pass.
Bottom line, it didn't pass.
My mistake.
Okay. So, okay, the motion doesn't pass. I'm looking on the agenda here. We have that takes us down to the question and answers with directors and officers. Are there any questions from anyone in the gallery? Okay, at that point, without objection, is there any reason we can't adjourn?
A comment.
Go ahead.
Whiskey November Echo Tango. a very good friend and master is in distress. Alpha Alpha Zero Zulu Papa had the stroke. Dean, did we have I don't remember, we have a new Century Club cares officer. Can we do something for Frank immediately?
It's already in progress.
Thank you.
Okay. And on that note, I have a lot of contacts in Bellevue, Nebraska. After the board, I have a phone call.
Time out. We know where he is. He's in a skilled nursing facility recovering from a stroke.
Right.
So we know where he is, and we know how to get hold of him, and we've had face-to-face contact with him.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Thank you.
I'll just make a comment. Bob W5UOT is our Century Club Cares person, and he does a great job, and he's been doing a great job with what he's doing with Frank. So and he sent out a number of emails. I don't know if you've seen them or not about where Frank's at, but he's in rehab in Omaha, and I guess he's got some speech impediment, and forget which side, right or left side. But he's in rehab at this point. So
yeah.
I would suggest any of you to drop Bob a note and tell him how much you appreciate him, because his term's coming up for renewal, and like I said, for the last year, he has gone way overboard locating people and issues, and he was really distraught over this one about Frank. I mean, this happened either during the net or just before the net on that Tuesday night. I mean, some of you were on the radio that night, and it just went downhill. And my understanding is that sometime during the net, 911 was picking him up and taking him to the hospital. So,
yeah, he had slurred speech, and that's what got people really concerned. And then he just sort of disappeared. And Bob, tried to find him, and he finally found a ham up there that knew Frank and was able to give him information about where Frank was, because he checked all the Bellevue hospitals, but he wasn't in any of them. So,
right.
Okay. Yeah, Frank was my vice president when I was president of the club up in Bellevue when I was up there at Offutt. And I've known Frank for about 35 years. So yeah, I reached out to one of the guys that I know from that club, and so okay. Without further ado, or any objections, we can adjourn the meeting.
I'll move for adjournment. K9 GWS.
Okay.
Beat somebody.
Okay.